Good afternoon. So today I'm going to be talking about why you need to increase your mental knowledge base. Just a little piece of advice from one budding business coach to another. Learning is one of the quintessential desires for each and every entrepreneur. Because if you stop learning or investing in your expertise, you'll eventually fall to the wayside. So on current trends that could be your business from booming. So in the 21st century, now there are so many outlets you can choose from to increase your mental capacity, whether that be books, podcasts, webinars, blogs, you name it. The resources are at your fingertips now. A plethora of information can be overwhelming, especially for a busy entrepreneur. So I have broken down some of the top ways you can expand your knowledge base as well as keep up with the demand of your busy lifestyle. Books. Number one on my list is books. This is the age-old classic. Books have been the number one source of knowledge for centuries, literally dating back to the 4th century. While the format of books has been updated in the past century, they are still a popular tool for expanding your mind. There are hundreds upon hundreds of books chock full of valuable information available, especially titles for entrepreneurs. I'm sure that many, if not hundreds of books, come across your desk at any given month. So it's important for a busy professional such as yourself to prioritize your reading. How should you know what book to read next? What are the challenges that you face as a leader or an entrepreneur and that you would like to accomplish? I guarantee there is a book for each problem or challenge that you come across. It's also guaranteed that you're an extremely busy person. So you might think you don't have time to read an entire book. Well, let's not forget that almost every book has an audiophile accompaniment. Purchasing the audiophile still allows you to get that great content from the book, but lets you listen to it at your convenient, flexible time, even maybe while driving in the car, listening at work or home, or even a nightly walk. I do it during my cooking time in the kitchen. So reading a book can open up so many new doors for any entrepreneur and puts new ideas into place for an increasingly growing business. Now, the second one on my list is podcasts, a new age classic. When podcasts first came on the scene about, I think, 10 years ago, not many people knew what they were about actually, let alone much content and information they could truly have. Fast forward to 2016, and there is a podcast for every single topic you can ever think or imagine, especially in the business world. Like books, podcasts can touch you on many different topics, branching out from the main podcast description. One week could be about digital content, while the next about social media, and so on and so forth. There are podcasts dedicated to strictly startup businesses, while others want to teach people how to become a better leader. So my favorite podcasts are Leadership, and there is my one of my absolute favorites is by Lewis Howes called School of Greatness. And also, I like Entrepreneur on Fire. What is yours? Please let me know. As a developing or busy entrepreneur, you need to ask yourself to prioritize the challenges you want to improve upon, just like you did for the books. Except with podcasts, you have more flexibility as most shows have hundreds of episodes of several topics. Podcasts offer more flexibility for when you can listen to them, as most episodes are shorter than listening to an entire book. Podcasts are especially great for your commute to work, as you can probably squeeze in an episode each way. Now, the third one on my list is webinars. Not your typical class, I guess. If you are looking for one of an interactive way to increase your knowledge base, try out a webinar. Now, as an entrepreneur, you may even host your own webinars from time to time, but it's a great idea to sit in on once with other leaders that influence you. Think of the core issues you'd like to improve and do some research into finding a great one for you. Maybe you already know of some coming up because you've gotten emails about one from your peers. Or maybe you just want to find a fresh face with a new idea. It happens to me all the time. So the hardest part about a webinar is finding the time to sit through one. Webinars have flexibility as to where you can watch them, but not like a podcast. Webinars are usually at least an hour long. And if you want to interact with other people in the webinar, you'll most likely want to be on a computer or in a private place. However, keep in mind that you should always register for a free webinar topics that interest you, even if you don't want to commit to that time or date, since most companies usually send out a recording of it after that. Then you can watch and learn at your leisure. By attending a webinar, you'll get to learn new ideas from the presenter as well as other attendees if you choose to interact with others in the audience. If you can double the number of ideas just by interacting with others, then why not? It's a great opportunity to think out loud and bounce off ideas off of each other. My last one on my list is blogs, not just for freelance anymore. How does your daily routine look? Do you skim the internet for a bit before you start your day, or do you take a midday break? This would be a great time to bookmark some of the best blogs about running a successful business. Depending on your challenges, as I've already mentioned a few times before, you can find literally any blog fit for your problems. Finding a blog you love to read daily might take a bit of research, but just remember there are plenty of options. Like a podcast, you will have different topics spread out each week or daily. You can also subscribe to an RSS feed for your favorite blog so the latest post will always show up in your inbox. Educating yourself for your career and business is all about finding the time to do so. Every entrepreneur is extremely busy, but the best know the value of continuing their education and pencil in time for broadening their horizons. If you start reading a book and realize it's just not for you, try listening to a podcast or reading a shorter blog post. Different outlets provide different solutions for each person. It's just up to you to find the right one. I will see you in my next. Thank you for watching.